This is the first camp I can, like, enjoy myself and be back. My headspace that I'm in now is way better than what I was before, and that's the only thing that mattered to me.
A lot of things out there about the size and all of this stuff, but people forget that Tank's a top 10 pound for pound fighter, and he's got power in both hands. And skill-wise and technique-wise, he's been doing this for so long.
I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. He's a real fighter, and got skills, high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, I've personally seen Tank, spar heavyweight.
Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis is a matchup no one saw coming. Two stars from completely different worlds are stepping into the same ring, ready to clash in what promises to be an unforgettable fight. Both fighters are determined to prove they are the best, bringing unmatched energy and confidence to the bout. The anticipation is building fast, and the hype is very real.
It's night and day, right? You have to understand, I went from doing YouTube and Disney Channel to 5 years, once to twice a day, 6 to 7 days a week, training, recovery, taking it more serious than ever. I'm just a different specimen. My body is filled out. I'm going into my athletic prime and going into that, and my body filling out, I just feel amazing and feel super strong.
Jake Paul has been outspoken about his intense training for the Gervonta Davis fight, claiming he's brought serious talent into his camp. He proudly says he's dropped people during sparring, and even revealed that Shakur will join him this week to help him prepare for the Tank showdown. In a rare moment of honesty, Jake admits that Tank is dangerous. While many judge Tank for being the smaller fighter, Jake disagrees, acknowledging that Tank's power is real in both hands. He knows Tank hits like a truck despite his size. Jake even confessed he's scared to step into the ring, a major statement that shows his respect for Tank's knockout power and skill. That fear proves this fight is far from the joke some people think it is.
Going into a fight that I've actually ever been, because I know how good these people are that I'm sparring, and being able to see how good they are and knowing how good Tank is, it's actually going to be my toughest test to date.
Yeah, I think, Jake, you could make the argument, right? Pound for pound wise, this guy's the most ferocious dude in the whole sport, couldn't you?
For sure. I think he has probably one of the highest knockout percentages in
90-something%, right?
Exactly. And just his speed, his elusiveness, his ring IQ, his conditioning. He's gone 12 rounds so many different times, something that I've never even done. So he's going to be sharp all the way through. I mean, the list goes on. And so just actually being vulnerable for a second, it's like, this is crazy. This is scary. It's kind of keeping me up at night.
Jake, how do you prepare for, like you said, a guy who is shorter than you? How do you find a sparring opponent to replicate something that obviously, there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis? How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature-wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So just sparring against guys on their level and people who have, been doing this their whole entire lives. But we're really focusing on speed and not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to lose some muscle so that I have less weight and so that my punches are coming off faster.
Many fans don't know the real story behind Tank's journey. From the beginning of his career, he's sparred with heavyweight, not just any heavyweights, but skilled ones who knew how to handle themselves in the ring. Showbiz, the analyst, revealed that Tank not only survived those sessions but dominated them, punishing much bigger men. If Tank can handle huge fighters in the gym, a cruiserweight like Jake Paul won't surprise him. Jake may be larger, but Tank has faced tougher challenges before. Those sparring stories prove Tank isn't intimidated by size. The analyst also noted that the heavyweights Tank sparred with were more technical and experienced than Jake. While Jake Paul has improved and transitioned from influencer fame to real boxing, he's still learning and refining his fundamentals. Tank, on the other hand, has been fighting elite talent since his teens. If he's already beaten and outperformed fighters much heavier and more skilled than Jake, then Jake's size advantage might not mean much. As Showbiz put it, Tank versus Jake isn't a mismatch. It could be Jake stepping into dangerous territory.
Or bigger people, like from middleweight to heavyweight. And the thing is, don't be surprised, okay? This is a photo. This is a photo of one of the bigger guys that he was sparring. But in the past, You know, like maybe a few years ago, he was fighting a guy in Mayweather's camp. He was a bigger guy. I think he was like a middleweight or something like that. He was whooping his ass. One time he was like on live whooping a bigger guy's ass. I mean, he's just beating bigger guys like middleweights and stuff. He's done that in sparring forever. Remember this story? I've brought it up a million times and I've showed this clip a million times, but on Ellie Set Back. This story of this guy saying how Gervonta Tank Davis knocked out this heavyweight.
Tell me the story. What happened?
What's the one boy's name?
No, don't say a name. I don't want to embarrass anyone.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. I'm like, I thought he died. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Hey, I've seen him knock out some heavyweights. He might knock wild ass out now.
You knocked out a heavyweight?
Yeah.
How was that?
Because I hit harder than Wilder.
Now, granted, the heavyweights that Gervonta Tank Davis is whooping and sparring is not like, you know, all-time great heavyweights, all right? And it shouldn't be. But he's sparring the heavyweight, the level of heavyweight that, you know, more experienced than Jake Paul, right? But Jake Paul has beaten those heavyweights himself, all right? I'm thinking that is the caliber of heavyweight that Gervonta Tank Davis is sparring, but he's whooping their asses. And that's a good thing. Honestly, I feel with Jake Paul sparring Raymond Ford, to me, it looked like Raymond Ford got the best of him. It looked like Jake Paul was a little exhausted, and it looked like Raymond Ford wasn't. It looked like Jake Paul was a little disappointed in his performance, and Raymond Ford was trying to give him a pick-me-up. Like, you know, just kind of letting him know. No, like, you know, we do this and do that. It just looked like Raymond Ford was in a confident, secure place, more dominant place, the more alpha out the two in the ring. And that's Raymond Ford. That ain't Gervonta Davis. You know, I love Raymond Ford. I have him on my fighters list. But still, I don't think anyone thinks he's as skillful or as powerful as Gervonta Tank Davis.
Tank has made a firm decision about his future. He's not returning to 135 LEBs. The weight cuts were too harsh and left him drained. Now he wants to stay fresh and fight in a division where his strength is at its peak. Moving up to 140 LBs reflects his growth and maturity as a fighter. He's preparing for bigger names and tougher challenges, including the upcoming clash with Jake Paul. After that showdown, Tank plans to remain a full super lightweight, confident he'll deliver even stronger performances there. His goal is to dominate this division and prove himself once again on a grand stage. By staying at 140, Tank opens the door to more opportunities. Some fans believe the higher weight puts him at a disadvantage against the naturally heavier Jake, but Tank disagrees. He feels this is where his body performs best. His stamina improves and his power becomes even more dangerous. At 135, he was already known for spectacular knockouts. Now he's aiming for show-stopping destruction. This new division might make Tank even more terrifying than before, and Jake Paul could be the first to experience this upgraded version of Tank.
Or had been throwing fits a few weeks ago when Gervonta had announced that he would be fighting Jake Paul in, I believe it's coming up in just about a month, or a little bit less than a month, and that he would not be, at least immediately, he would not be rematching Lamont Roach. So people went all up in arms. Shout out to my guy, Big Dog Willie, who even right now is claiming that Gervonta Davis is going to go try to fight in WWE or something like that when he gets done with Jake Paul. But the truth of the matter is that Gervonta Davis is coming back to boxing. He's always said that he's coming back to boxing. He said he's going to run off, get this bag real quick, and he'll be right back. Well, as you see, the 135-pound WBA, the WBA, where he holds his 135-pound championship, has not stripped him. They said that they were going to look into it if he had not rematched Lamont Roach, but nothing ever really came of that. So as of right now, he still has his 135-pound title, but I'm telling you, the way that things are panning out, I don't think he's going to go back down to the 135-pound division. I think he's going to go to the 140-pound division where really and truly all the smoke is there. Add to it the fact that when he fights Jake Paul, he's going to be fighting Jake Paul at a higher weight than he would necessarily be fighting guys at 135 pounds. You're probably not going to see him drain down for the fight. I don't think he's going to bulk up at all, but usually when guys play with their weight and they go up and allow themselves to fight at a higher weight or fight people at higher weight classes.
Carmamel Matan shared his perspective, confidently stating that Tank has the clear edge in this fight. He explained that Tank's experience sparring with heavyweights means weight won't be an issue for him at all. Jake's size advantage, he said, doesn't outweigh Tank's superior intelligence and ring IQ. The real difference? according to Carmamel, lies in skill level. Tank is a master boxer, while Jake is still developing and learning the craft. Carmamel predicts not just a Tank victory, but a dominant one. Having seen Tank train up close and work relentlessly behind closed doors, he speaks from first-hand knowledge. That insider view gives his prediction extra credibility. As Carmamel put it, talent beats size and skill conquers strength. Lessons Tank continues to prove every time he steps into the ring.
Tank versus Jake Paul.
I feel like it's gonna be a good fight, you know, entertaining. It's an exhibition, so we're gonna see how serious they really take it, but I don't know, they both getting a lot of money, so, you know, congrats to them.
What if you had it, like, who has the edge in this fight?
I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. You know, he's a real fighter, you know, and got skills, high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, you know, I've personally seen Tank, you know, spar heavyweights, you know, and even me, I spar heavyweights, you know. So the weight's not really too much, you know, for a lot of great fighters, you know, so I feel like Tank will get it for sure.
Do you think it kind of be like an advantage because he's like small and like fast? Like someone said that, I'm like, I didn't think about that actually.
Yeah, possibly, you know, he's gonna see a lot of Jake Paul's punches coming, you know, he can be able to evade them and then set him up for a big counter.
Wait, but do you think this is going to be different than the other Jake Paul fights we've seen, like against Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez? I know a lot of people weren't the happiest with that, but I feel like Tank's going to give him like a different fight. Do you think so?
I think so. We'll see how he adapts to, because a lot of people think it's hard, you know, for a small guy to be fighting a bigger guy, but it's also hard for a big guy to be fighting a smaller guy. It's a small target, you know, they're very fast, so we'll have to see how he adapts to it.
Wait, and is Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson really happening?
Yeah, that's happening.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Wait, is there a date already, or like what's going on?
I don't think there's a date yet, but it's definitely an official fight and it's happening.
So what do you got to say about that? Like what's going on?
It's gonna be a great show. You know, Floyd's gonna do his thing. You know, hopefully I'm on the undercard so I can put on a great show as well.
No, really? You guys already talked about that?
Not yet, no, but we'll have to see. Yeah, for sure.
And are you gonna fight again this year? Like what's next with you, Carmel?
I don't know. At the moment, we haven't heard nothing. We're just waiting, you know, staying patient, you know, staying ready. But I should be back at least one more time before the end of the year.
When the fight was first announced, Shakur Stevenson was one of the loudest critics. He publicly questioned why a world-class champion like Gervonta Davis would choose to fight a YouTuber-turned-boxer instead of another elite professional. To Shakur, the matchup felt like an insult to the sport he's dedicated his entire life to. However, the story has now taken an unexpected turn. Reports claim that Jake Paul offered Shakur financial motivation to join his training camp and help him prepare, specifically for Davis's style. This sudden involvement has caught fans off guard and sparked plenty of debate. Many analysts point out that if Shakur truly believed the fight disrespected boxing, he would have stayed far away from it. Instead, once the right offer appeared, he decided to participate. The same fight he once mocked as a circus is now one he's indirectly helping to shape. Observers see this as another reminder of how quickly opinions in boxing can shift when business and money enter the picture, proving that even the most passionate critics can change their tune when opportunity knocks on.
A lot of money to help him in camp, some easy money to come spar somebody or whatever. Go get your money, right? But what's funny to me is for someone who had nothing positive to say about this fight, and someone who was critical of Tank Davis for taking this fight, and tried to shit on Tank Davis for taking this fight, he sure is doing whatever he can to be a part of it. He sure is doing whatever he can to be a part of the fight. And then to take that a step deeper and a step further, for someone who doesn't want to talk about Tank Davis anymore, he sure is making moves to ensure that he is continued to be mentioned with Gervonta Tank Davis. Shakur Stevenson's not stupid. The new firm that he hired to do his PR work and get him to do these interviews and try to enhance his brand, they not stupid. Jay Prince not stupid. Josh Dubin not stupid. The people around Shakur Stevenson have been building social media brands, building boxers, and building talent in different industries at the same time. I mean, for a long time. They know how this shit works. They not dumb. They know the conversation that is going to surround Shakur helping Jake Paul. Tank Davis' biggest rival going to camp to help Jake Paul. If Jake Paul has any kind of success in the fight, Jake Paul was successful because Shakur Stevenson is on a different level and he helped prepare Jake Paul for the fight with Tank. That's why Jake Paul did so good. They know this, bro. And to me, that's the problem that I always have with these guys like Shakur Stevenson. You can throw Lamont Roach in there. You can throw Devin Haney in there, bro. You can throw Keyshawn Davis in there if you want to. My issue is they won't admit what it is. And I guess it's an ego thing, it's a pride thing, because I get it, bro.
Offset offers a different take, focusing on the physical side of the matchup. He believes Jake Paul's size and natural strength could give him a genuine chance to win. The weight difference is clear, and Offset thinks that if Jake lands the right punch, it could completely change the fight. Still, he acknowledges Gervonta Davis's exceptional skill, noting that Davis is the kind of fighter who can slip punches, counter instantly, and make opponents miss all night. While Offset leans slightly toward Jake because of his size advantage, he admits Jake might struggle to land a clean shot on Tank. To him, this fight represents a fascinating clash between power and precision. A big, strong challenger facing a slick, highly skilled champion.
You saw Jake Paul and Tank Davis?
I don't understand how that's happening, though.
I mean, that's kind of what Jake Paul does, right?
The nigga's 7'8". I'm not saying 7'8". Like, the nigga's
so what,
6'4".
So you think Jake wins?
Yes.
This is kind of like the Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight. And Mayweather, he got the better of Logan for sure. I think Logan's even bigger.
Than Jake? Fuck no.
Logan's bigger than Jake, yeah.
He
like
is?
Bigger, yeah. But Jake's now a more experienced boxer than probably Logan was at that time.
I don't know. That weight shit, man, that shit is a real thing.
What's the odds on that shit? I wonder. Not out yet?
Who do you think gonna win out of Canelo?
I don't really follow boxing like
Canelo,
that.
man. I like
Canelo.
I like my boy, but Canelo's just
Canelo's a beast.
He not old. He still got it. He hit hard as a motherfucker. And then like the fighters he fought and lost to was some dogs though. Like most people won't get in the ring with him, so it's like I feel like I don't know. Has he got the? I don't know. I feel like he gonna land though. What's that? What's the odds on that?
Oh, so this Davis is -205 to beat Jake Paul. Jake Paul's +155.
Wow, that's tight odds. Tank Davis is -205. Jake Paul's 155 opening odds. Dude, that's crazy. I don't know.
Tank 5'2" though, but it's like he's so short.
Fast.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying the height difference is
like,
crazy.
is Jake even gonna be able to hit him? Like, he's probably so fast.
He's
Tank's
fast,
gonna be able
but
to hit
Tank-
Jake.
He's short though.
Tank's gonna hit him a lot,
5'6" or some shit,
right?
How tall is Tank? 5'7". He's like 6'3". So different. That's
no, I know.
6'3" and big. Now technique, he got him in technique because he's for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I gotta see that fight. That shit sound crazy.
You gamble on football? You sports
you have
bet?
to pay him a lot of money to that fight.
Oh, they're making so much money.
Some analysts have pointed out that many fighters who criticize Gervonta Davis aren't doing it out of concern for boxing. It's driven by envy. They argue that jealousy toward Davis has existed since the start of his career, and now that he's set to earn an enormous payday, that bitterness has only grown stronger. These analysts believe that most of his critics would jump at the same opportunity if it were offered to them. Rather than congratulating Davis for securing a huge financial win, they choose to attack his choices. According to these experts, much of the negativity surrounding Tank doesn't come from genuine concern for the sport, but from those who secretly wish they were in his position.
Fire. I get the chance to pick a great business mind brain and help give him some game in the process. I'm down. Oh, we know you're down. So for one, you look like you hating on Tank, bro. Like you specifically. Two, this is the same guy that said he's not watching the fight, but now you're somewhat taking part in the fight because you're trying to gather or help prepare Jake Paul for the fight. And then this is what Shakur Stevenson does, in my opinion. Shakur will make questionable choices, do certain things, right? And then afterwards, he'll be like, yeah, now that I got y'all attention, I got everybody mad at me. Bro, the stuff you're doing is weird. You know what I mean? And it's almost like, to me, it's almost close to like Karen behavior, in the sense that Karens, you see some of these Karens and they do all this extra stuff and then act like the victim. And I told you that's one of the main problems with Gen Z, right? Where Gen Z, they will do just weird things, make weird choices, make weird decisions, and then they'll act like, man, I'm Tupac, me against the world, everybody's against me. Everybody's not against you. You're just doing weird things. You're making weird decisions, it's weird behavior, so on and so forth. So let's ultimately recap. We got to do the Boxing Ego recap to see what's really going on here.
There's also ongoing debate about the rumored payouts for this fight. Estimates of $20 to $40 million seem believable to most analysts, but when some reports claim both fighters could make nearly $200 million each, skepticism quickly follows. Many in the boxing world believe those numbers are exaggerated, too good to be true. While the matchup is massive and the attention surrounding it is undeniable, earning that kind of money in a single night still feels unrealistic to several experts. For now, the exact figures remain uncertain, impressive, but far from confirmed.
It says 150 to 200 mil.
That'd be the most any athlete's ever made in one event, in one night. Where are they getting that money?
And it's Netflix.
Okay, Mike Tyson didn't make that. Jake Paul didn't make that.
Yeah. 20 million, I would believe, not 200 million.
20 million seems realistic.
That's a lot.
Even because Netflix is bigger, but there's no pay-per-view model. So, and Gervonta is a big pay-per-view draw, especially for being a lighter weight class.
Yeah.
So 20 to even 40, I can get.
Oof, that's a lot.
40, I can understand.
When push comes to shove, though, you know, like 20.
Like Canelo's getting that 40.
Yeah.
But Gervonta Davis, he was, especially on Showtime, he's a big pay-per-view star.
Yeah.
He's a knockout artist. 200 mil is just completely false.
Man, I mean,
just swipe. What it says? Swipe to read more. What else does it say?
No, there's nothing there. That's probably from the original.
God, Jake is so much bigger.
Yeah, man.
If you enjoyed this breakdown of the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis showdown, share your thoughts. Who do you think takes the win? Jake's size and power, or Tank's skill and precision? Your support helps us keep bringing fresh boxing updates, fighter insights, and real analysis straight to you. Hit that bell icon so you never miss the next fight recap or prediction.